Tonight's topic is on astral projection, and this is a explanation slash how-to class. So what is astral projection? Well, it's the ability to leave your body and be aware of it. In other words, have a conscious experience of you being somewhere other than where your physical body is. And a lot of you have had this experience, and some people haven't, not consciously anyway. It's also called soul travel. It's also referred to as out-of-body experience. It's also called astral travel. They all mean the same thing. But it's a natural phenomena, and it happens all the time at night. It's just that you may not be aware of it. You see, the physical body has to rest. Because of your normal activities during the daytime, it needs to regenerate at night, and so it sleeps. But the spiritual body is pure spirit energy. It does not deplete. And so it can travel, and it does, but you just may not be consciously aware of it. Now, an indicator might be that, let's say you're having a dream about flying. That might be an indicator that you're actually becoming partially aware that you are having an out-of-body experience. Another indicator might be that one moment you're in one place and then in a split instant you're in some other place entirely different, far away, other kind of a place. Another indicator can be that sometimes you've fallen asleep and all of a sudden your body jerks and it wakes you up for a moment. Usually that is your spirit body snapping back into your physical body, and it happens to do it with so much momentum, I guess you might say, that it actually jerks your physical body. So the spiritual body is able to travel separately from your physical body. And when it does this, there's a silver cord of light that always connects you. In other words, the spiritual body and the physical body are always connected by this silver cord of light. The silver cord is also known as the thread of life in some philosophies. And in some of the Eastern philosophies, it's referred to as Antakarana. But whatever you call it, this cord stretches to infinity. And it doesn't break. It's a permanent connection that always allows your spiritual body to re-enter the physical body at will. It's always connected. Now, when you're out traveling, there's no time and there's no distance. Everything is right here, right now. However, you can have the experience or the perception of distance or space and time. So it kind of depends on how your mind is focused at the time. So let's say, for instance, you are out in the West Coast in some town and you're hovering along a sidewalk. Well, you can tell that you've gone a particular distance if that's how your mind is focused. And you just have that experience of moving right along. And you can also tell that there's like a time lapse that occurs while you're doing that. But then in less than a microsecond, you might find yourself 3,000 miles away on the East Coast in some relative's house in your living room, just like that. So it depends on how your mind is focused and what your thoughts are at the time, and also just intentions that you may have, and you can be shifting around all over the place. Another thing about when you're traveling is that you can change direction. You can also go faster or slower or change your size. It's all about the beliefs that you have in that moment and whatever your intention is. And the moment that you have a thought, that experience instantly happens. Now, what's also true, however, is if you have any kind of a thought about doubt of some sort. Like, for instance, some of you may have had this experience. It seems like you're flying along and you want to go higher. And you try to go higher, but you can't. And you're trying to go higher and you can't go higher. It's like there's a ceiling that's preventing you or some kind of a resistance or something. It's all about the belief you have in the moment. The other thing is, if you want to go back to your physical body, it happens immediately, as soon as you have the thought. If you have any kind of a concern that happens when you're out, you snap back into the body immediately. Now, let's say you're falling asleep and you're trying to get out. In other words, you're wanting to have an out-of-body experience and you're trying. Trying harder will not work. This is a process of allowing. You have to allow it to work. Also, it's not going to work if you're trying to overcome anything. Like if you have a concern of some sort from the day, that's going to interfere with the process. Or if you have some sort of a belief or a thought even around, oh, I'm going to have to work with Eastern masters for years before I would deserve to be able to do this. Not true. Not true at all. Or maybe, I just hope I do it right. There's no right, there's no wrong. We'll talk more about this a little bit later. Another thought you might have is like, ooh, what if I don't come back? Well, you're going to come back because you're not disconnected. You have that silver cord of light that always has you connected. Technically, you don't go anywhere anyway, really, because space itself is an illusion. It's a perception of reality. Another thing that might occur is maybe you think, I'm just not spiritually ready for this for some karmic reason. None of that is true. It happens all the time for everybody. It's a natural phenomena. It's just a matter of becoming aware of it, becoming conscious of it. And you can have fun doing it.